Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and this is part of my Garibay Politics series. And I just wanted to talk today about something interesting I saw the other day. And so what occurred was I'm fortunate to have this wonderful little deli near my home, and they actually sell they're really good roast beef and coleslaw. It's a really little tiny store, and they also sell like products from hers and like kind of day old stuff or stuff that's nearing its expiration date. And so, but they're very careful, and if you look, you can get good deals there. It's a real local, homey little place. And I like it a lot. My wife shops there. I go there about every 2 weeks, and I've been going there for 5 or 6 years. And the other day I walked in and I saw something that really made me sad, and it didn't have any. Well, we'll get there. So the delicatessen has a lottery, right? So they have all the things I just talked about. They have cold cuts and cheeses and chips and milk and soda and food, right? And things that you would eat and consume or enjoy, and then they have a lottery, right? And then this is about the second or third time I've seen this within the last year, where I walk in and I go through and I grab a couple items, and I'm the only person in line to buy food. But the line for lottery is 10 or 15 people long. It goes through half the store, and it's just so much longer than the line for food. And this just struck my heart, just really made me sad. People want, when they're buying their lottery ticket, they're buying hope. They're hoping to win the lottery and be millionaires. And this just saddened me so much, because what it showed me is people want hope more than they want food. And that to me is just amazing. So what this video is about is gambling, and I'm opposed to gambling. And let's be clear, like most things, one of the reasons why is when I was in high school, I actually struggled with it. In my junior and senior year, I started playing cards at school and after school, and we would just gamble for like nickels and quarters, and maybe there's $6-7 in the pot. And it was really, and I had a real problem with it. I have a highly addictive personality, and so I avoid things that I know are dangerous. And I had a good friend after I'd been doing this about a year and a half. He just told me, hey, you need to curtail this. And the reason why is I get really upset over losing like $7. I've been working since I was 12. I had my first job was like a paper route, and then I literally cleaned up after dogs at a dog kennel, and then I worked at the Wawa, and I had all these jobs, so I always had money. And even $7 even back then wasn't a huge amount of money, but I'd get really upset, and he could see, my friend could see that it was just a bad behavior. So right then, that was kind of a bell early on that that this was destructive, and I saw just the anger it brought out, and the pain and the sorrow that gambling brings forward, and that was just the barest shadow that I was looking at. Like, one of the reasons why I'm opposed to gambling, specifically gambling that has been actually authorized by the government. This is incredibly dangerous to me. So I was blessed to read Malcolm X's autobiography. And he talked about the times when when he was kind of a criminal, right? And he talked about the times when he ran numbers and how important that was to the community, and how many people it employed, and how much hope it gave, right? But he also explained this is a racket, right? And that the people who were running these, they kept the vast majority of the money, and what the other people were getting really wasn't, it was predatory, right? It was predatory toward the people he was taking the numbers from. But now the government has taken that literally a racket, what you would be arrested for racketeering over, and made it legal, and they're making money off of it. And that is incredibly bad. And the worst part is they're actually, it goes even further than that, where I really think if you do the numbers on this, people are spending a lot of money on these lotteries, and a lot of times, especially when these big $100 million multi-million lotteries, these multi-state, hundreds of millions, $500 million have gone through this, these things. When they go into this, and now we have this situation where you got people spending hundreds, maybe even thousands of dollars on this, and I'm convinced that dozens, hundreds, maybe even thousands of families in these states There are mortgages that aren't being paid. There's milk that's not being bought. There's electric that goes out in people's homes because they're not paying these bills, and they're using it for something that, in many ways, the government should not be in this business. They should not be putting a blessing on legalized gambling and putting this forward. And even then, most of the time, it helps older citizens. Well, guess what? Kids need milk more than older citizens need a few more dollars to help with whatever they're helping with. It's just the wrong flow, and just I strongly believe the government should not be in racketeering, and that's exactly what legalized gambling is. So I'm opposed to legalized gaming, and the reason I'm doing this video is, one, if you buy tons of lottery tickets, 9 chances out of 10 you're not watching this deep into this video, if you're even watching this video at all. This is for casual players, right? So people who buy a lottery ticket once a week or once a month, or play in the office pool. And what I'm saying is that basically what that does is it helps the lotteries continue to grow larger. It attracts more players, and it raises the number of kids and families that are impacted by gambling addiction. And and so really, I just encourage you to keep that dollar. And I'm not even going to give you a line. Oh, if you keep it, you'll get a big much. You probably only spend a little bit every year, maybe $10-$20. If you're a casual player. And so it's not going to make that big a difference to you. But what it does make a difference is it continues this grind, this beast that eats our families and that eats at the soul of the U.S. citizens. And you know what? Organized crime, they're going to do that. That's what they do. But I don't want my government doing that. And so just keep the dollar to say to the government, I'm not going to support what you brought forward, and I want this rolled back. And then another thing I do that I would really encourage you to do, or please consider, is vote for politicians who do not support gambling. And and this is important too. And so give them your vote, give them your support. That's what I try to do. That's what I do. I vote every election. I'm a big voter, and so I really feel this is important. I think one of the last things I'll say is one of the things I'm saddened by. I'm blessed to live in Pennsylvania. It's a great state. Really wonderful. If you don't live here, consider moving. It's fantastic. And so one of the things that's great here is Wawa. They're the best. I've been all over the country. I've lived in Georgia. I've lived in Wisconsin. I've lived in Kentucky. A lot of different states. And so one of I guess I've been to, on the East Coast and the mid America. But one of the things I just wanted to say was we have Wawa here, and Wawa is the best convenience store in the world, bar none. The only thing I've ever seen is close as Turkey Hill. They have awesome ice cream, and they have awesome iced tea. And they're very good, but they don't hold a candle to Wawa, right? And anywhere else in the state, you guys don't even know what a good convenience. Anywhere else in the nation, I think you guys are hard-pressed to know what a good convenience store is. Wawa just leaps and bounds above any convenience store I've ever seen. They're just wonderful. They have awesome deli. Their employees are nice. They have good systems. They continue to just build that business and make it better and better all the time. And so I was really saddened last year when they brought lottery machines into the Wawa. And the reason why is I really feel Wawa is an awesome little organization. They're local. The cops hang out there. People see each other in the Wawa. It's a great place. It's part of the local community, and it's kind of the heart of the local community. And this is like kind of a rotten ventricle in the heart. I was really sad to see it. So I'm hoping that Wawa will roll this back and get rid of lottery in the Wawa. It doesn't fit there. It doesn't fit with the wonderful company that they've built, and with pure wholesome milk and bread and all the great things you can buy there and get there, and just smile from your neighbor. And Wawa is a great place, and to me this is a dark kernel in that it's bad, and I was really sad to see it. So I'll just end this by saying, please keep your dollar, don't support the government in preying on its own citizens, and support politicians who are willing to stand up to the gambling lobbies. I think it's a good thing. Thank you.